All right, so NASL Season 3, Day 1. We're, halfway through the day. I'm here with Clutch. And, when I first heard the announcement of all the casters and stuff, who was potentially going to be coming, you weren't on that list. And then, of course, we saw that post on Reddit where you were like, hey, tell NASL to do their job right and bring a really good host. Is that an accurate description of how things went down?
I had been in talks with NASL for a while, and from my understanding, there wasn't a definite answer yet. And I made that post to answer a lot of people's questions in the community and a lot of chat's questions that kept asking me, hey, are you going to go? And I, would love to go, but frankly, I'd love to host. And I would say, I'd love to host. And a lot of people would bring up, well, aren't you an employee of MLG? Mm-hmm. So I love MLG, they're great, but I've always been a private contractor. And being a private contractor, I'm open to other leagues. And so I made that post to kind of answer a lot of those questions. And so the community would know that I am interested, I'd love to do it. Of course, it's NASL's decision, but that was my standpoint. And the community really got behind that. And I was really flabbergasted at first and felt kind of bad because it looked, in my eyes, a little unprofessional or put NASL in a bad position or an awkward position. But as we can see, it worked out for the best. And, there's a lot more to it than just making a Reddit post, but I'm really grateful to be here, and the fans have been like, we're so excited you're here, man, and I'm really excited.
And, after that, EMG made their big announcement that you were going to be part of the organization, or they were going to represent you at least. How's that been going? And, based on this and based on whatever talks you're doing now, are you happy with it?
I'm very happy with it. From the acting world, we have to deal with agencies. That's pretty much how the world works. And understanding that world and kind of being trained on what's legitimate and who are people that are just out to make quick bucks, Of course it's a business and you want it to be a profitable business, but really EMG works for me. I mean, I am their client, but I don't get paid unless, they find work for me. That's how it works right now. And it's great. They really helped in a lot of the talks with NASL. And when the Reddit post happened and it was the top post in StarCraft, we all had a kind of a conversation, and I apologized and make sure everything was smoothed over with NASL, and EMG helped with that. And as we can see, EMG is a really good team to have in my corner, and there's some other exciting things that are happening that are going to happen down the line that I can't reveal yet. But having people that understand the sports business management and how to represent people in a scene that's existed outside of esports with poker, and seeing what worked and what didn't in poker, and learning from their mistakes and keeping what works and moving into esports is really exciting. It's a little bit early. They said it's a little bit early, but it's better to be early than to be late.
Sure. And is this your first time in Canada?
I actually came here when I was 1, which I don't remember, and when I was telling my parents that, hey, I'm going to Canada for the first time, my mom remembered, no, I actually went to Vancouver, because I'm originally from the Seattle area, when I was 1 year old, and I went, oh, well, I'm going when I have cognitive process thoughts, so it's kind of the first time. But
you should go back to Vancouver. Vancouver's like the California side, where everybody from that side won't stop telling you how good that side is. Yeah. Toronto's I don't know, a big metropolis and not a good representation. Have you had fun downtown though, or you done anything?
I did. Went to the CN Tower, went to the Hockey Hall of Fame, and judging it, from other cities I've been to, it wasn't as crowded as other cities, but it felt really cool. It felt like a metro type of city, and there was a lot of different things to do, and it was a little bit hot, so having to walk around in the heat was a little tough at times. But it's summer; it's supposed to be hot, right? But I enjoy it. It's kind of odd because when you go to different countries, sometimes the entire culture is different. But the Canadian culture, it does have some differences than America. But I have to remember sometimes, I'm in another country. I'm not in America right now.
Sure. Have you been to Tim Hortons yet?
No, I haven't.
I'll take you later.
Okay.
It's nothing to write home about. So NASL has been going really smooth.
Yes.
I'll be honest, a lot of people were like, oh, I wonder what's going to go bad at NASL, but overall, at least at the event side, it's been really smooth. And when did you guys get in, and what sort of preparation did you do prior to the event starting?
Oh, I got in on Thursday, and I was able to hang out with the crew and kind of bond and understand each other outside of the professional scene, and how we were able to communicate with each other gave us a good sense of how we're going to work together. And these guys have been working together for a while, and so I felt like kind of the new kid on the block, hanging out with them and stuff. But to me, that just helped a little bit psychologically of what they expect from me, what I expect from them, and that translates into the business sense. And so when we're here, things seem to be going smooth because we've kind of ironed out any kind of communication that we need to do, and we have different kind of standards and practices that the executive producer Morgan kind of put in place, and we've just been following that and schedule and whatnot. So from a production standpoint, like, they were prepared and they knew what they wanted to do, but they were flexible enough to add something in or to change some things. And of course, you have to be flexible with the time frame of the games. I mean, some of them could be all 5 games are played. Some of them, it's, a 3-0 shutout. Sure. So it's been really fun so far.
Yeah. And, you've been working with Lauren Elise, who a lot of people probably have seen on camera with you. And then how's that been working with her?
It's been really good. She comes from an interesting background, and she understands the modeling and acting world. And having that in common, we have a lot to talk about, and how esports is such a big rising community of gamers that is moving into the media sphere, and how trained media personnel are needed in some areas. So she's an exciting girl. She's fun to be around, and I look forward to see what she's going to do more with NASL.
I think it's really interesting how, as more trained professionals kind of come in, or people with a bit more background, they start to stand out a lot more. Like, you stand out specifically because of your acting background and that, and your presentation. That wasn't a question. That was just me talking. So do you have predictions for the event overall? I mean, Stefano killed Hero, and Hero made some mistakes in his games, but he looked really, really strong. Do you have any predictions overall?
Overall, I mean, honestly, storyline, I'd love to see Huck in the finals. I'm sure everybody would. But Stefano and MC have been looking really strong, really strong. So maybe they'll be in the finals. Prediction-wise, I think top 3 will be Huck, because I'm just going to go with Huck, MC, and then Stefano.
And have you been following WCS at all?
Today I have not as much, because I've been more focused on the stage, but overall, WCS, definitely. And I thought it was such a great idea that Blizzard came out with. And of course, it's news, so we have to see what's going to work and what doesn't. And putting it in the hands of other leagues is really exciting, because it creates those national heroes, those hometown heroes. So I look forward to see more what happens in the dramatic storyline of those 32 players that are here this weekend.
Cool. And what's next for Clutch?
What's next for Clutch? I will be hosting at the MLG Summer Arena in New York City, which happens the following weekend, this weekend, so we'll be pretty busy. And from there, there'll be more announcements, either from me or from Esports Manager Group.
And you're going to see Batman, right?
I'm going to see The Dark Knight Rises, which I have a friend of mine who is an actor in New York, and he told me a lot of big-time critics went and saw the film. And after they saw the film, they stood up and applauded. And they said that this is the greatest movie that has ever been made of all time. And some of them said, if this film does not win Best Picture, then no comic book movie ever will. So I don't want to get people's hopes up too high, but I'm pretty excited.
Has EMG helped you sign a deal with, like, Christopher Nolan or something? Or?
There's maybe some talks that I'll play Harry Osborn in the Amazing Spider-Man sequel.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
I don't know. I'd love to. We'll see. And in the acting world, what I've done in esports for the past number of years, I don't want to give that up. I really don't. And I want to be able to continue to grow in esports and continue to further my career. And I feel EMG will help me, and also to do the same thing in acting and have them tie together. So 5 years from now, when I'm nominated for my second Oscar and I actually win, I'll definitely thank esports in my speech. And then I'll go host the next event next weekend. So
don't forget about us, like Lindsay Sporer did when she got famous. She's on Conan and all sorts of shows.
I saw her on Conan and some other things. I was like, good for you, Lindsay. Good for you.
Cool. So I know it's hot in this, so I'll let you go back into the air conditioning and what minimal air conditioning there is inside. And but yeah, thanks very much, and good luck.
All right, thanks. You.